Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I'm not sure where you're joining us from, but a lot of people are just trying to come in now. But thank you so much for making out time to be here. It's the African Women's Day. Woohoo! So if you're in the room and you're proud to be African, it would just be great to know what country you are from, or where you're joining us from. So from the left-hand corner, Ambassador Chicas, where are you joining us from? Ambassador Chicas, can you hear us? And we have Coach Heidi, where are you joining us from?
Hi everyone, welcome to today's event. I'm joining you from the great city of Nigeria.
Perfect, thank you so much. And we have Francesca, where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from South Africa. Thank you, Louisa.
Wonderful. We have Karima. Where are you joining us from? We have Tanimu. We have Gloria.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm joining you from Morocco.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm Gloria, and I'm joining you from Texas, Dallas. Thank you.
Welcome, Gloria. It's good to have you in the house. Honorable Lisa is here. Thank you so much for joining. Redfield Way, where are you joining us from? Can you leave the speaker muted? If you're not supposed to be speaking, we have some noise. I was trying not to get everyone muted, and I might have to, just so that we have a sane meeting. It's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be great. And when you want to say something, you can unmute and come on in, and we can just hear your beautiful voice. So welcome. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, everyone, for making out time to be here. It's the African Women's Day, and all the beautiful women from Africa. We have Maimuna. Where are you joining us from?
Thank you. Hello, Lisa. I'm glad to be there. So hi to everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
I'm from Senegal.
Yes, Senegal is in the house. This is so powerful. So we have women from all over Africa. Listen, if you did not hear your country, I don't know what you're doing. So you need to come with someone next time, because your country has to be represented. And we have Dr. Kai, Dr. Remy. It's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much. We have Sia. Thank you. We have Ellen. Please come in and say hello. Come in and say hello. It would be great to hear from you.
Hello, Remy from Maryland, Nigerian American.
Welcome, Dr. Remy.
Sia Fino from Maryland as well. Hi, Doc. How are you?
It's good to have you. Thank you. Ellen?
Hello, Dr. Louisa. Hello, everyone. My name is Ellen, and I reside in Maryland, but I'm originally from the Gambia.
Gambia is in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm excited. You know, we have so many countries here that are represented. We even have more people who will be here later on today. And my good friend and sister, Arthi, is right here. Arthi, where are you joining us from?
Good evening, beautiful ladies. I'm here from South Africa, the gorgeous, amazing, incredible South Africa.
Yes. Did you bring the cold or did you bring the heat? Welcome. It's good to have you.
Listen, we're ladies. We bring sexy.
Lovely, lovely.
It doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. We'll heat this conversation up. Don't worry.
So
wonderful. This is going to be awesome. Ladies, thank you so much for making our time to be here. It's the 59th anniversary of the African Women's Day. And I'm so excited. I don't know about you, but it feels so good just to be here and connect with all of my great sisters from all over the world. The conversation is going to be awesome. Yes, the theme for this year is the political legacy of the African woman. So if you'd noticed, or if you're on my page, you would have seen that for the past couple of days, what I have been doing is trying to celebrate the African women, all those who have gone before us, our sheroes. They've done so much work before us. It's just good to highlight some of these amazing and incredible women. You know, we had Miriam Makeba, and everyone was so excited to see her. We had Femi Fumilayo Kuti, and that was so powerful. We had Joyce Bander, so many women. And so if we haven't talked about the women in your country, now I'm going to blame you, because you should pass that on to us and showcase, be proud of them. Bring it up. Let people know the amazing women and powerhouses that we have from Africa. It's through you that we can learn about your country and the work that you do and the work that other women do. So the focus today, really, we're having a round table here today, really easy conversation. So sit tight and relax, and like Ati said, it's going to be sexy and fun, and we're just going to do it. But we're talking about something that is so extremely important, and that is women's political participation. That is extremely important. That's a conversation we've all had to put it underneath the table for so long. But guys, you know what? If we do not have women on the decision-making level, I'm sorry, we're not going to be on the menu. And we're tired of being at the back door. That's why I had to bring all these power ladies who are doing amazing work in their country. Every single one of you here is a VIP. I hope the men are not going to be jealous, but you know, sometimes we don't get the chance to celebrate one another. So please just manage and bear with me. I love my sisters. I'm so excited to see them. But Tanimu, I appreciate your being here today. Bala, thank you so much. It's amazing to have you in this conversation. Max, woo, it's so good that you're here. Buka, thank you. But it's all about women today, because we hardly talk about women. We hardly celebrate each other. I mean, look at all the different shades of brown skin. Excuse me, whoever said the brown woman wasn't beautiful, they need to be on this call. Okay, so let's get back to the deal of the day. So we will have just about 90 minutes. I'm going to try as much as possible to honor everyone's time. So give me a minute. We'll be looking at, of course, the waiting room. People are still trying to join, some because of connections coming in and dropping off. So you'd see me going back and forth, but I'm here with you. Okay, so we will be having our honorable ambassador who will be joining us very soon in a couple of minutes. We had to get this started first of all and just begin the conversation about what we're doing today. And of course, she'll be here in a couple of minutes. Now, if you want to say something, please don't hesitate. Yes. And thank you so much, Max. It's wonderful to have you. I'm just going to mute you for now, but it's wonderful to have you in the house. If I have muted you, I'm not saying you should keep quiet. I'm just saying that there's some interesting noise behind you. And when you're ready to come up to say something, unmute and come right in. And then we will have a great conversation, because we're trying to record this so that we can have access to it and listen to it. So it's just good for it to be flawless and smooth, isn't it? Okay, so we will begin from some kind of introduction, maybe for a minute for all of us in the room. So just take a minute, you know, because I have all these amazing bios here. And, you know, let me tell you, when I asked the ladies to send their bios, I was thinking it was going to be 3 lines. But when it came in, I was like, whoa, Louisa, excuse me. These women are powerhouses. So what we're going to do is we're just going to give you a minute to just say why you are so powerful. Just share with us why I should connect with you anyway, because this is professional networking as we're here today. So what's the most important thing about you apart from your name and that you're beautiful? And I'm just beginning from the left-hand corner, and we have Coach Ivy. You are the first person in the left-hand corner. So go for it for 1 minute. Go for it.
Hi, ladies. Hi, everyone. My name is Idonwese Peter. I am from Nigeria. I am a woman's advocate and I'm very passionate about women. My program that I run for women is called Like Fine Wine. It's for women of 40 years and above, and it's all about self-care in women. Now, when I mean self-care, it's much more than appearance. I talk to women about their mental health, their physical health, their spiritual health, and most importantly, I showcase the potential that lies within them. So that's why I'm so, blessed to be here, because I know that women, we are influencers. We have always been influencers from our family. And if John Maxwell, who is also, who I'm also part of his team, I'm part of the John Maxwell team, if he says that leadership is influence, then it means that we have this inborn leadership in us. I mean, we bring the men and the women into the world. We are mothers, we are multitaskers. So it's about time that we use this influence that we have to better the world, to not be silenced, but to speak up. So that's my passion about women. I just want to tell all women that there is more to them than just being a mother and a wife. And it's about time that we take our seat on the table, they pass us the microphone, and we change the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I can see that light just coming through you. It's amazing. Thank you. It's great to meet you. As I pass this on to Dr. Remy is in the house. Dr. Remy, could you just share something with us for a minute? Guys, you want to listen to Dr. Remy. Over to you.
Good morning, everybody. And thank you so much for this platform that you've created to bring our sisters from all over the world to connect and to communicate and cooperate and, God willing, collaborate and see how we can make our Africa greater, how we can make our respective host countries greater. My name is Remy Duyele. I am a proud wife, mother of 3 amazing children, an authentic narrator who have been changing the narratives in America ever since I got my foot into the door at 39 years ago, a person who rose as a teller with an MBA to a vice president in the banking institution of one of the finest nations, United States of America, someone who has served diligently in my community through my nonprofit Legacy Premier Foundation, where we solely committed to underserved community in the area of financial literacy, development of people and entrepreneurial development. And my next level is I'm raising my hand once again to take my beat for service to another level, to run for office in the United States of America, in the state of Maryland, where I've resided for 39 years as a delegate in my district, 23B, where I've lived for over 10 years. So I am here, I'm excited, I'm really honored to be part of this. And I am definitely a game changer and an authentic narrator. And I've experienced that and I've showcased that in all that I do. Very passionate about my emerging leaders. That's what most of our focus is, emerging leaders, women and entrepreneurs. And to the glory of God, we've made strides in this great nation, America, and in some African nations. So I'm really excited to be part of this conversation. Thank you, sister, for having us, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Remy. It's always connected.
Hello, ma.
Be working with you at this time.
Good evening. Good evening.
I'm going to put you on mute, but welcome. It's wonderful to have you in the room as we pass this on to Dr. Kai.
Thank you so much. You look incredible. Everyone looks incredible. I am so humbled and honored to be here. I would just speak briefly about myself, but offline, I'm available to speak to everyone. And Dr. Louisa, I'm honored. Thank you so much. I'm from Nigeria. I live in the US. I'm a global citizen in my mind. My specialization is international public affairs strategy, leadership development, and I'm a psychologist. I think the relevance of my participation here, besides being a woman and a leader, I also do have a foundation called the Made Man Foundation, in which we connect male leaders to community initiatives. And one of the initiatives that I connect male leaders to is gender equality roundtables and conversations. These male leaders are extremely empowered, extremely successful, and have a lot of influence. And I believe in order for us to have a conversation, we need to talk to each other, with each other. And that is one of my initiatives. Made Man Foundation and gender equality is one of our programs. So I'm proud to extend that to a wonderful woman for us to all join. the conversation with these incredible male leaders and talk in a collaborative fashion for solutions. I also do have a book that is coming out. It's called Gender War Between Black Women and Black Men. And it talks about issues that are internal, external, and a collaborative fashion of solution-based issues moving forward. So I am excited. I will consider myself a doer and a collaborator. And I just love getting things done. And this is a passion of mine. So God bless us all. And I'm here to do the work. So thank you all so much.
Thank you so much. It's so good to hear from you, of course, to share, you know, what you do with the world. And there are other women here who I'm sure they're so excited, especially my sister Arthur, because she's very passionate about what you do. So I'm just gonna pass this on to Karima. Woohoo! Can you unmute? I'm sorry, maybe I have to help you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's just an honor to be again here with you, Dr. Louisa. I love your energy, and I love these wonderful women and men who are with us today to celebrate the Africa Women Day. I'm Karima Ghanem. I'm from Morocco, but I am a global citizen as well. I'm Pan-African. And I'm CEO of Africa My Home, which is a social enterprise focusing on socio-economic and political empowerment of youth and women across the African continent using technology for development. I'm also president of the International Center for Diplomacy, and I'm working actually as an international expert, more specifically in gender policies and youth policies, and really happy to share with you today insights about women political participation in particular, especially that I'm now here based in Morocco and I'm in the middle of election campaigns. So there's a lot to share about that.
Thank you so much, Karima. It's always wonderful to be serving with you. As I pass this on to Francesca.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Francesca Fonse. I am the CEO and founder of the Angelus brand in South Africa, and also a UN Global Compact member. I serve on the UNGC Gender Forum. I am also the national champion for women in South Africa to the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. From the championship, I created a national outreach organization that assists women to overcome the adversity of gender-based violence through entrepreneurial training, personal wellness training, and also creating entrepreneurial networks of small businesses that we help them to establish. Frankly, Louisa, I don't like to speak about myself, but that is it. So basically, what drives me and what is very important in my life at the moment is through the Angelus brand to be involved in creating very big sustainable impact projects focusing on socio-economic transformation. That is the one aspect. On the other aspect, through WIN, the women's organization, to teach women how to collaborate, to get women to understand that networking is more important than trying to outshine each other, and to create those networks and help them to establish those networks so that they can all not be as reliant on partners that are normally abusive than they would otherwise be. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was so good to meet you again, of course, Francesca. We've done quite a number of work together, and thank you for the work that you do in South Africa. As I pass this on to Ambassador Chicas.
Thank you so much, Dr. Louisa, for this time. Good evening, everyone from Nigeria. My name is Chicas Kumle. I am a politician and a social justice advocate. I'm also the founder of She Can Lead Initiative Nigeria, which is a non-governmental organization that advocates, supports, and educates women to take on leadership roles. And I'm so excited to be in this room with these very powerful women. And as a politician, I'm someone that is so passionate about how we can get women on decision-making tables, because as an African, I understand that what we have not tried yet is giving women a voice on the table. So I'm so excited to be on this call, and I'm looking forward to not just adding to the conversation, but learning from everyone. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Ambassador Chicas. It's great to see you again and of course serve with you. I would ask that we should please everyone share this video from my page. It's right on Facebook. We want to get more people to be part of the conversation who cannot come into the room. Now the room, everyone who is in the room should be in the room, basically, because they are part of the conversation and we all can't be here. So please do me a favor by sharing this on your page on Facebook. Take it from my page, it's Louisa Akaizo, and put it on your page and we can be able to take questions from there. So I'm just trying to introduce just the panelists so we can get the conversation started. We have 5 more minutes as we take this 5 people. And so the next person is Athi Moore.
Good evening, beautiful ladies. Once again, I think I may be your entertainment for tonight. I'm Arthi Moore. I have a really crazy, awesome journey. And as founder of Celebrating Humanity International, I started that in South Africa, looking at how I can create a balance by bringing back respect between people, admiring and engaging with each other, honoring each other as human beings. It's as simple as that. And I've started a movement called Ladies and Gentlemen Unite, where I actually encourage people of influence who are male and female to contribute to each other's success in every possible way, bringing a balance and challenging the dialogues around gender-based violence and so much more. I also run the Key Leadership Institute with my husband, and together we're looking at creating compassionate leaders of influence. That is my vision, that's my passion. I absolutely love and adore people, and I know that every single human being that walks this earth is here for a reason. And I'm here just to look at how I can ignite hope, love, compassion, and respect within each human being so that they understand that their true worth is dependent on one thing, that they know that they're worth it, that they deserve the best, and that they are the best. So that's me from my side in a nutshell, and I hand over to all the other fantastic ladies, and I look forward to learning from every single one of you. Thank you, Louisa.
Thank you so much, Athi. It's always an honor to work with you, and we're going to pass this on to Moradeke. Badru, can you come on, sister? Moradeke, we're just introducing the panelists so that we can get things going, and yes, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, sister. My name is Moradeke Abiodun Badru from Abuja, Nigeria. I am a nurse, a trade unionist, and also a gender activist. I have a long experience in industrial relations and both at the national and global level, and I contribute to policies development around issues of health and women in Nigeria and even beyond. It's a pleasure to be here to participate alongside great women, beautiful women today in this conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful. It's great to meet you, my sister. And the last person, not the least, before we continue, is Maimuna Yade. Could you please introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Lisa. My name is Maimuna. So I don't know if here everyone can speak French, because my English is 1 part, second, very funny.
we do understand you, so you're fine.
Yeah, so I'm going for the French. Okay. Bonjour à tout le monde. Je m'appelle Maïmouna Yad. Je pense que je me suis déjà présentée tout à l'heure. Alors, je suis du Sénégal, féministe. Je suis féministe. activiste et je dirige une organisation de femmes, de jeunes féministes qui s'appelle le Women Global Entrepreneurship, JIGEN, et nous travaillons sur tout ce qui est gender equality, tout ce qui est violence basée sur le genre, et également tout ce qui est santé de la reproduction des adolescents et un peu des jeunes filles. Alors, je suis féministe, activiste, je crois profondément à l'égalité des sexes, étant féministe. J'y crois profondément. Je suis très ravie de voir qu'aujourd'hui, qu'on va parler de politique parce que j'ai fait 10 ans de politique, bien que maintenant je suis beaucoup plus axée au niveau de la société civile. Je suis très ravie d'être là. On a plein de choses à se dire en tant que femme, en tant que politique, en tant que membre de la société civile. Donc, merci. Je pense que dans les discussions, on pourra revenir sur effectivement le rôle des femmes et surtout dans les pays africains, où est-ce que nous en sommes exactement avec l'implication et la participation des femmes dans la politique. Merci à vous.
Thank you so much, Maimuna. I think thank you might be Mercy, but we do understand your English. So the next time we're fine with your English. That's fine, please. Be comfortable with that. Okay, so we're going to move on to the conversation, but I have to acknowledge all the great people who are here. But oh yes, my sister is here. I'm going to let her come forth. Sia, Fino, or Fino. Please forgive me if I don't get it right. Please.
No, this one, Fino, is good.
Fino, perfect.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Please, could you introduce yourself for a minute?
Sure. Yes. Hi, good afternoon. It's such an honor to be part of these great women. And I want to thank all the women that have come before me to allow me to stand on their shoulder to look into the future. I am grateful. I am CF. I don't like talking much about myself. I always believe it's about the people. It's not about me, but I am a candidate. I was a former candidate for Maryland House of Delegates, and I'm a candidate now running for Prince George's County Council. Service unto others have always been my pleasure, and I want to represent the African immigrant community in America. And my goal was to encourage African women to help Africa from here by getting involved in politics in America. We don't always have to run to Africa to run for office. We can help Africa from here. We can work hand in hand with the African women in Africa in support of them. And we see their plight, we see their struggles, we work hand in hand with them. And Africa is in the hands, the survival of Africa is in the hands of the African women. That's my belief, that we all have to work together. So I'm a politician. I'm not ashamed to say that. I am a politician, I love it. I eat and breathe politics because I believe that we have to be at the table. If we're not at the table, we're going to be the menu. I don't like when African women say, oh, I don't do politics. If you don't do politics, politics is going to do you. Somebody's going to make a decision for you that's going to rule you for 20, 30 years. So why don't you get involved and make a sound decision for yourself and your generation? I am CF, thank you so much. It's an honor. Dr. Remy, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Louisa, for having me here, and all the wonderful women. I adore you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for representing me well. And I'm going to do well to represent each and every one of you well in America, in the state of Maryland, and in Prince George's County, our great county in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's wonderful to have you here, Sierra Fino. Thank you for the work that you do. I can hear the passion. It's amazing. We have to be on the table. There's no ifs and buts.
Yes.
So before we continue, I'll just mention a few names because we have Honorable Lisa Asugar, who is the Special Advisor, Public Affairs to the Governor of Imo State. She's here. We have Mrs. Juliana Beatrice, the Honorable Commissioner for Health, Borno State. We have Honorable Anastasia, and she was in and I think dropped off Deputy Minister in Zimbabwe. Honorable Favor Tom Mewa, please forgive me if I don't get it right, member of the House on Ondo State, and of course, Chairman Committee on Women Affairs and Diaspora. We have Honorable Oluwatoni Kerele. She's the Vice Chairman of IFACOR local government area. As people come in, we have Fatmata, I think she's been connected and disconnected, but I would love to bring her on as soon as she's back here again.
I'm here.
Where are you, sister?
I don't know. I don't know where I am on your screen, but I'm here.
Welcome, welcome. Can you just say hi to us and just speak to us for a minute?
Yes. Hello, beautiful, beautiful ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for having me here. I am so excited that this is happening. Hello to my sisters, Remy and Sia, my fellow candidates out here in the state of Maryland. So I'm running for county council from Montgomery County Council. I'm from Montgomery County. I'm an attorney. I practice immigration and special education law out here, and I'm from Sierra Leone. But I was raised here in the US. I grew up here, came here at the age of 11. And I am running on inclusion and equity. It's not equality, but equity and inclusion. Because again, we have to be there in order for our voices to be heard. And I think we are the strength of our nation. We are the strength of our continent. And I believe if we can build enough political power and strength, we can go back home and do what we need to do to strengthen our Mama Africa. So thank you for having me. I'm really glad this is happening. And thank you, Dr. Louisa. This is a wonderful event. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you so much. So we're just going to move on because we will be having the ambassador of the African Union join us very shortly. I see my sister here from Tunisia. I see another one from Madagascar, and I'm going to come back to you. I want you to know that I love you very much, but we have to get going. Okay, so we just heard from the panelists, guys. Everyone here is so important and so powerful. I feel the heat. If you have your microphone on, please do us a favor. We're going to have to go through you a little bit to leave it on mute. Okay. Yes, Musa, we love you. Thank you. Just leave it on mute for now. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you. So please leave it on mute, and as soon as you're ready to say something, you can come on in powerfully. But right now, we're trying not to have so much noise in here. So the conversation begins right now on women's political participation. There has been a struggle, and there continues to be a struggle. I have been blessed to work with women in power in different countries, and I see what are the challenges of women, the challenges that we face every single day, you know, and they're similar to each other in different countries, right? We hear about people not having enough finance and support. We hear about, you know, problems from our counterparts. There's so much, which I'm not going to talk about because you're going to have to say the same thing. So today, which is the African Women's Day, I thought it was so important for us to spend the time and really highlight why don't we have so much women on the front line? And those who have gone, some of them end up running away because there's no support system. What can we do? How can women build the trust they're looking for, the influence that they need, the visibility, credibility? And that's what this conversation is going to be about. So I am going to begin this round with Dr. Remy. Yes, she's here. So she has to come back to the microphone and really to talk to us about her personal experience. And we're all gonna have like a minute and just tell us about your own personal experience because she's running for office right now. And apart from that, in the past 30 years, 40 years, I've never seen this woman do anything apart from leadership. So she has a lot to share. She has a wealth of experience to share with us. And that's what we're trying to do with this conversation, try to make it very organic and just kind of learn from you what is happening, what is real, and get people to know more about what is expected of them and how they can maneuver and be successful. So Dr. Remy, my first question for you would be, what do you think about women's political participation? Do you think it's been fair? Or do you think there's so much work to be done? Over to you, Dr. Remy.
Thank you so much for letting me start this conversation. First thing that jumps off the gate from my mind is we need to stop seeking validation from others who are yet to be even recognized. They have not even found themselves. And we are running trying to get validated. When you can get that off your psyche and focus on you, the woman, the man, or whosoever, you know that there's so much you have that we have as women that we can start. Like one of my mentors would say, do it afraid. That will get you to start the conversation. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to validate who you are, whose you are, what you carry, and to begin to always yearn to learn more, to be more, and to want to give of yourself. The learning cannot be about you. Whatever you're striving to do can never be about you, or you're not going to get anywhere. People will see through. I mean, they will see clearly. So for me, my experience and what has guided me, and I'm running for office now, I've always been in a leadership role. I'm always serving. This is just another level of raising my hand to be a voice at the table, to be that authentic narrator, and to bring unison in all of the diverse issues that we might have. Maybe another light that will help us to see better. But going back to your question, just that ability to know that as individuals, we have something, we have greatness in us. We might not have all the answers, but how do we continue to build, to equip ourselves to get to that place where you'll be comfortable? Guess what? When your vision is bigger than you, you're never going to get to a comfortable setting. You're always going to do more and be more, because it's not about you. And because it's not about you, you have to learn to stop and validate others. Once you understand and you validate yourself, validating yourself doesn't mean you're going to wear your value around town. Who cares about your value if it's not adding value to others? But it's going to allow you to know that you carry value, and that other people that carry value need to be validated. So when you do that, you don't need to chase the shadows of people who you want to accept you. They don't know what you're carrying. Will you accept what you don't know? Maybe not. All you just got to do is keep showing them. And once you show it and you show up and you want to take it to that next level, go ahead and raise your hand. Not all of us will run for office. Service doesn't just begin as a political, as a public servant. That's my book. All of us are servants. And if we carry that servanthood in everything that we do all the time consistently, a brand, B-R-A-N-D, will be born of who we are. So when we raise our hand to do anything, whether it be a political office or whereby our voice is so needed and relevant at the table, we would be able to distinguish others and know who are those servant leaders that we can, like you brought us together today. We're not each other's competitors, not at all. We are supposed to be collaborators and to build support systems that would help us to have a stronger voice. Because the voice that my sister Sia has will be different than the voice my sister Fatmata has. I'm picking on them because they're in my great state of Maryland, and all my beautiful sisters who are global. The voices of what they carry will be different. But once we know that we all carry value and we validate that value, we don't need to chase around those who would need to validate us. If you build it, they will come. So we just have to walk hard and know that we paid forward, because they are emerging leaders who are leaning on our shoulders and we don't even know them. They lean on our shoulders because they see what we're doing and we're inspiring them, and they will tell us, oh, you're doing that. So always know that you are on a worldwide web page, irregardless of how many people you're speaking to. And when you do that, and you validate who you are and what you carry, and you don't wear your pride, you don't wear your success all over you, trust me, nothing can stop you. There will be a process and you will just have to go through the process. At the end of it, there's never a loss when you do your best. It's going to be a learning experience. So I'll stop at this point so I can give everyone the platform to say other things. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so much, Dr. Remy. I really have to apologize, guys. The ambassador is trying to come in, and can you imagine she's not able to connect? That's so disrespectful. What's wrong with you, Zoom? Oh my God. Yes. So while I try to get this sorted, I will bring my sister, Dr. Kai. Dr. Kai, I wanted to talk to us about what are some of the challenges that you think that women are facing in the area of leadership? whether it's in political participation or just mere leadership. Over to you, Dr. Kai.
Well, thank you so much. And I will be brief. For Remy and Sia Finau, am I saying that correctly? And some of you other incredible ladies, women, leaders running for office in Maryland. I think I met another young lady when I was at the Sierra Leone event. I'm in Maryland. I'm here to support. Let me know. So on reference to the question, I come from the spirit of collaboration and the spirit of self-evolvement, which, as Remy noted, it translates into building bridges without you trying to. I think that a lot of women are so focused on what it needs to look like versus who they need to be. And then in the spirit of service and gratitude and evolving yourself and understanding that it is always about you, but never about you in a sense that it will take you to build bridges for you to build yourself to move forward. So I believe that the challenge is that we don't understand our own power because we don't understand who we are. And in order to really evolve, you have to see yourself, which is really dig deep. To go 3 steps forward, you have to go 3 steps deeper. So you got to see yourself and then evolve into your best self, do the work, and then you go beyond yourself. And that to me was what helped me be able to build an all-male organization. People say, how are you the founder of an all-male organization? Because I understood to be part of the solution, I had to have conversations with the people that are part of the problem and solution as well. So I said, let me go to these leaders that I want to engage and say, come to the table and let's all talk. Let's talk to each other, about each other, with each other. And that's just my way of building bridges for equity. But I do believe it definitely begins with you and not minimizing your value so you can step up and do what you need to do to build those bridges. So I encourage everyone to do that work. It's not easy, but listen, becoming the best you is never easy, but it's necessary.
Thank you so much for your contribution. I was just going to bring in Honorable Lisa and she disappeared on the screen. That's okay. So I'm going to move on to Ambassador Chicas. And being a politician, Ambassador Chicas, can you share with us what are some of the challenges that you're facing presently, right now? Over to you. Ambassador Chicas, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you once again, Dr. Louisa, for bringing in this powerful lineup of women. From my experience being a politician in Nigeria, the first thing I had to deal with it was the perception of the people. First, they were thinking, for some of them, having not seen a woman from my constituency come to their doorstep to say she needs their votes to be in parliament. The perception was, okay, you need to get married, you need to take care of your children. What are you doing here? You're too young. What is it you know about governance and about leadership? But because of the positive anger that I had within me, wondering why things were not working for all the years that I've lived in this country, was what got me to say, I want to be on this table. I want to add value to leadership. I want to see a leadership that truly represents the people. And I want the voices of my people to be heard. So when I was a candidate at the 2019 general elections in Nigeria, a lot of factors, a lot of challenges were on. The finance was there. Yes, the perception, like I mentioned, was there. And also the lack of political education, especially on the part of women, to understand that we really need women on the table, not just because they are women, but because we are bringing in fresh ideas, fresh perspective, and then we're here to provide solutions to the many problems that we're having. So while running for office, all of these things came to play. But one thing kept me going, knowing that if at all we want to have a representation that listens to the people, then we need to have a democracy that truly reflects the people, because as it is defined, that democracy, it's about the people, for the people, and by the people. And then if we now agree that women are half of this population, then it is an act of social justice to have the women's voices heard. And not just because I was a woman, but as a youth leader in my local government, being the first female, there was a responsibility on me not to fail at anything, to understand also that there are young people that are coming behind. There are young women that are coming behind, looking up to me to ensure that this kind of conversations that we always have about having women on the table doesn't end there, but they need to see practical steps. They need to see practical evidence of issues, of the impact that has been made. So when I started my organization, it was purely out of the experiences I've heard, wishing that I had people before me who would tell me clearly and deeply how the reality is in politics. And also knowing that politics everywhere, not just in Nigeria, is notoriously expensive. I had to work with the social capital I had. People spend so much more than I did. But because I had good working relationship with a lot of people, I had volunteers, and I had people that went out of their way to support me. And at the end of the day, though the election results didn't come out in my favor, but the clear statement was made that indeed women are ready. And I'm particularly excited that we're having these conversations, not just with people that think of what it should be, but people who are living the experience, people who are having the first-hand experience of what it means to be a woman in politics and how we are going to close in this gap. Because yes, we had women that came before us, they served very well, selfless service, selfless sacrifices, but in between, we realized that there have not been a sustainable plan to see how we bring in more women. Because just last month, I was having a conversation with some of my female friends that ran at the 2019 general election. And 60% of them said they are not going to run again because they've had bitter experiences. And so that is now bringing us to how we should understand how to close these gaps, first of all, so that we will not lose the number of women that are already in the political space, so we can add to these numbers. And so for me, being in politics, I always tell people that politics is tough, but so also is business. And so there's nothing that will be given to you on a platter of gold. And knowing that this is a game of power, nobody is going to give you power. You have to take it. And so I've made a commitment to myself that I'm going to remain in politics for as long as democracy is practiced in Nigeria or anywhere in the world. And also knowing that we have so much to add to this country in terms of national development. It is rather unfortunate if we sit on the sideline or we sit on the fence only criticizing what should be done and who is not doing what. But if we're pointing the finger at anyone, then who should do it? And then if we know the right things to be done, then it is only right that we get into the space and ensure that things are done right. And here, you know, the climb, people always talk about politics being dirty. And I always say that the politics itself is being seen as dirty because we do not have enough women in that space to sanitize it. And so, yes, we're in the space. So our goal is to bring in more women into this space and also to get them to understand that this thing is not going to be easy, but for the experiences we've had, we were going to share it with them so that when coming in, they're not going to experience what we've experienced. And in closing this gap as well, women, I believe, need a support system where their psychological needs will be attended to when running for office and after running for office, because there's so much that comes with it. Your health, your finances, and so many issues come into play. And then in the Africa setting, knowing that this is a patriarchal society, some marriages even get on to crash so unfortunate and sad. So all this support system will help women to get to understand how to balance being very active in the political space and then taking care of their responsibilities in the home front. So I think that's what I have for now. And I'm so excited that we're having this conversation. And I look forward to engaging with everyone after this conversation, knowing that there's so much we can do for African women, both at home and in diaspora. And I'm particularly excited seeing what my beautiful big sister, Seafino, said, that is not just good for African women to be running back home, knowing that we have so much value to add to the global stage. And as global citizens, there's so much we can do for Africa from wherever we are. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Chicas. That was wonderful. That was amazing. Ladies, if you want to clap, and I know that you're muted, you can put it on the screen and just clap for the lady. And I want us to know that the ambassador is right here. Woohoo! Welcome. It's so good to have you, Mark. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to try to unmute you. We cannot mute the ambassador. Are you kidding? We have to be able to unmute her to say something. Yes, I just did that.
Yeah. Is it okay? Or make it stand?
Welcome. Yes, we can hear you now. Welcome so much. Welcome, Her Excellency. It's good to have you in the house. Thank you. And women, I want you to know that she's away traveling, but she still made it here. That says so much, you know, that purpose is not seasonal. And she showed us true example. Doesn't matter where she is in the world, she showed up to be here as the true leader that she is. Thank you so much. Welcome, Mar. It's good to have you here.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes, we have all the power women who are here and looking forward to meet you and connect with you. So many people are still trying to come in. Just before I introduce and read the bio of our ambassador, I'm going to bring on Honorable Lisa. She was about to say something just before we did that. So Honorable Lisa, could you unmute? And Honorable Lisa is the Special Advisor, Public Affairs to the Governor of Imo State in Nigeria. And I would like you to comment on what do you think, what have you noticed are some of the challenges that women are facing, whether in office or outside office, in the area of political participation? Over to you, Honorable Lisa.
Thank you, Dr. Louisa. Thank you, everyone. It's good to be here. This is really, really the right time for this because the way the world is going, and Africa especially, I think this is the right time for women to come up and synergize. Now, it's really, really like Dr. Chika said, it's very difficult for women politically to just be there. You need your strength, you need your sanity, you need everything, first and foremost. Being in office, nobody teaches you politics in Africa. The political science you study in school is not the same thing you get in the field. It's totally different. When you get to the field, it's really, really different terrain. And that's why they say Africa or Nigeria politics is dirty. That's because the men will never let you be. To start with, you go to a situation. I've served the governor as essay on protocol, special duties, legislation, and and public affairs. Now, to start with, you look at the age. I'm in my 30s. Most of the people serving the governor are in their 50s, 60s, and nobody wants to let you be. Nobody wants to let you show up because some of them, they feel that is where their survival starts from and ends with. And look at you in your 30s, taking decisions with people that their whole life depends on that. So first of all, they see you as a threat. Everybody is playing a very, what I call it, a dirty game. of sycophancy. And that's why you see our leaders don't really move forward, because everybody's trying to tell them what they want to hear. And if you come up to say the right thing or as it should be, then you're termed in a particular way, or you're looked upon as someone that is against the government or in opposition. So as a woman, I am this and a woman in power and in politics, just like Dr. Chike said, power is never given, power is taken. So for you to get this power, you need to take it. You need to take it, and nobody would give it to you on a platter of gold. First and foremost, you're a woman, you're there. Next thing they say, you're working with someone in power, or you're in corridors of power. They say you're sleeping with a person. You see, the women are the ones that even try to draw the fellow women down. And there's no platform to help. There's no platform as a support system. So you're just doing everything by yourself. Everything you're doing, most times, it's just by yourself. And to make it worse, in Nigeria, people that are elites, people that they're educated, they're exposed, they don't play politics. They're not in the corridors of power to see. When I started working with the governor, I had to learn my language properly, because the people that play this politics are those that are in the village, in the rural areas. And when you go there, you want to communicate with them, you must speak the language with them. Speak the language they understand, because they're the ones that go out to vote. On the day of the election period, the voting period, you don't see people that graduate or coming out to vote. No, most of them stay in their rooms, in their homes, and watch TV. So it's these people, the traders, petty traders, these women that are just trying to survive, these youths that are in the village and rural areas, they're the ones that come out to really play the politics by voting. So imagine a situation where you're educated, you're exposed and enlightened, and you look to your side, you don't see anybody that fits in. What you're seeing are people that are not, their level of exposure, it's not up to yours. So it has to take you have to get down to their level for them to accept you, for them to understand what you're talking about, or where you're coming from, or where you're going to. And that is what's making politics in Nigeria especially very expensive, because you can be doing something you can be doing community works, doing things for your community and all that. But believe you me, the day of the elections, if someone comes that day and share 10,000 naira, even 2,000 naira for the people, they forget everything you've been doing for that community. What they want that day is that money they can get. And that is why you see the wrong people always coming into power. Politics is expensive because of these people. Because by the time you finish spending that kind of money, for goodness sakes, they want to recoup that money. And when, as a woman, you don't have anybody supporting you, our culture and our belief systems, especially in Nigeria and most parts of Africa, we always put the men in front. So you're doing something, they are there in front. They get everything before even the women. So you as a woman coming out, trying to do something, trying to play your own role, it's just so difficult. I was SA protocol to the governor. Now, there are some situations where you are the SA protocol, but the people that are the security services, they're men. The police services, they're men. The army, they're men. And you are the SA protocol. You're supposed to be at the forefront and synchronizing things and making sure that everybody is in tune. But because you're a woman, sometimes they just push you to the side, or even you're on a convoy, they just push you. So you must have the willpower and the strength. And you must be someone that believes in what you're advocating for. So Dr. Lisa, I just think, first and foremost, we need to have a life wire. And the life wire is an organization or a support system, something that we know, most times women, we always have meetings, symposiums, conferences and all. But at the end of the day, we don't come to the practicality what we need are things that are practical, that you know that if you do A, you get B. If you do this, because sometimes we go for these meetings, you know, even at the United Nations, and they talk that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't streamline down to the rural areas. It doesn't come down to the man on the street. And for goodness sakes, just like Dr. Chika said, if we don't have the right people making these policies, if we're not in corridors of power, people will just put us where we don't deserve to be. People will just take policies and we must subscribe to it because they're the ones in the corridors of power. So we need something that is a life wire that we should say that, okay, this is where I should go to get this. And at the end of the day, we also need some kind of economic backing, because we say these things, we talk, actions, blah, 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 but we need something also as a backbone, which would be able to help us stand straight and stand strong. So it's very difficult as a woman being in politics, especially in Nigeria, I must say. Sometimes I am actually in the hospital right now, but just because of the love of what you're doing, Dr. Louisa, you know, that's why you can see I'm still wearing, I'm on a monitor. But because of what I believe in this cause. And I decided I'm going to be online and I'm going to partake in this conference. I think it's this, what you're doing, this is what we need in a time like this. There's so much negativity everywhere. There's so much, especially in Nigeria. Things are not just working. Nothing is working. There's insecurity. At the end of the day, it's the women and the children, the ones that suffer all this. And still, at the end of the day, the men there, they want to be in charge, but they are not really taking things the way it should be and focusing and giving us the desired result. So it's so difficult as a woman being in politics and in power, but is it doable? Yes, it is doable. We need the willpower, we need God's intervention, and we need an organization or an outfit of what you just put together. Thank you so much, Dr. Louisa.
Thank you so much from the heart.
We put it here. Yeah,
Thank you.
Sure. No.
I'm going to try to put some of us mute at this time, but thank you so much for sharing. That was so powerful. I could feel it. I mean, I felt like I could just step out of the room and run into politics. And maybe that's what I'm going to have to do after this session. But thank you, everyone who has shared as we continue along. And I have to bring on Her Excellency right now. I have to honor her, you know, her time, because I know that it's pretty early where she is, but she made it here. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, my sister. Thank you, Dr. Louisa.
Yes, so just give me a moment because I want to share who you are and all the amazing things that you have been about for the past couple of years. Ambassador Hilda Suka Mafudze is the permanent representative of the African Union to the United States of America. Her core mandate is to enhance and maintain existing bilateral ties. These ties strengthen democratic institutions, advance trade and investment, knowledge sharing, promotes peace and security, mutual relationships between the US and all the 55 African Union member countries based on culture and shared values. A career diplomat with experience that spans the African continent. Our ambassador who is here, Her Excellency, assumed her most recent duties on November 2nd, 2020. Prior to coming to the US, she helped lead diplomacy for more than 2 decades in a variety of top government positions in our home country, Zimbabwe. Well known as a quiet champion of democracy, our ambassador held ambassadorial positions representing her country in Khartoum, Sudan, and South Sudan between 2010 and 2019, and most recently in the Republic of Malawi. Yes, and people are still trying to jump in while I read this bio. Welcome. Okay.
So thank you very much. Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you. I appreciate.
Thank you so much. We've been having the conversation. We started off at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and it's such an honor to have you here in the house, and what you're doing. It's amazing. We're all Africans here, sisters and brothers from several countries are being represented here. I'm not going to go back to that, but I'm just going to get you to share with us, what are your thoughts on women political participation? Is it possible to have more women in the front line? And just give us your words. Over to you, Her Excellency.
It's very possible to have women come to the fore, have women be realized. I would want to think there's a lot that we can do. It's about us as women cleaning our own house. There's also power of perseverance. There's power of perseverance, which we should put in the fore when we want to go into these things. And we should learn to, we are pioneering, unknowingly we are pioneering. Like the last speaker spoke of the challenges that she faces. She has to try to put things in a way that people would understand. She's a woman and she's talked about it. We are pioneering. We just have to pioneer for us to get there where we want to get to. We have to have other women or our families carry that backing love, the love that encourages us to move on. I believe in the family setup, which is very important. If your family is backing you and you want to go forward, yes, in the field, there's so many challenges that we come across. I have had my own share, and where I've had some challenges, where I've been called names, but I realized that's the style. And I told myself, I'm here and this is my space and I'm not going anywhere and I'm here and I have to be counted and it has to happen. Don't look at what I'm carrying and who am I and am I wearing a dress or you are a man wearing some trousers? It doesn't matter. It's what comes out from my brain and what I want to do. We are natural managers. And as we go into these things, we do it better than them. They may have a lot of money, but I tell you, grounding ourselves and telling ourselves, I'm going in. I'll tell people the truth. I didn't have much money for me to run on the ground. I didn't have much money, but I went down to the ground and I spoke to people and I told them what I'm looking at and what I would want to build for them, make their lives better and all that. They got so excited and they worked with me. And I told them the truth. I told them, I know people want money, and which is the reason why we should run. The previous speaker, actually, the one I really listened to, she talked of we have I don't know the word she used, but we just have where we will train our women, let them be at that path. Even sometimes, even when I went into parliament, I realized that some men went as long as the 5 years in parliament without speaking a word. But as they go down to the constituency and they want to run for the position, as women were jumping, we want them in. But when they're empty at the end of the day. So it is now. And we are in there and we have to refine our strategies, clean ourselves, make a difference just on the ground. Go and talk to women, sit down with them and tell them where we are coming from and what you are looking at. Sorry, I keep on going.
That's so good. I love it. And I'm really enjoying this conversation because we have to be able to move the needle forward. We've been circling around on one spot for so long. And that's why we're having this difficult conversation. And of course, Her Excellency, I'm going to pass another question back to you. Something that women struggle with is influence. Influence is something that women struggle with. How can we gain influence without sabotaging ourselves? What are ways that women can gain influence to be able to move forward? Our ambassador, over to you.
I would want to think to gain influence, we just have to rally behind each other. And they say your network is your net worth. And that's where this influence comes into being. And right now we are talking. I, for one, where I'm coming from, I'm very like those women whom people look down upon and say they are on the ground, they are not at the same level with me. Those are the people who drive issues. I know we have to have that backing. That's a backing and that's the ground that we have. And we have to get the influence which is above. As we move up with the levels that we've gotten in, we should be able to pull others. That is the network, the influence that we can give to them. They have a lot of issues that they would want to put on the table. Lack of information, lack of how in the leadership at the moment. We have African Union right now, which is running with issues. There's already a fund set up for women, but I think we just have to clean our house, as I've said earlier. We have to have our house cleaned. We have to rally behind each other. The information will come and all those networks will come into being. I, for one, at Page, I would want to have those women, have those influences. I can help in that regard. I'm really into that. I know what the challenges that they're facing right now. I know them, those who want to run, I know. So I know what you're talking about. But let's do it. We have been stagnant for a long time, saying we want women to vote for women. Yes, there are challenges around it because people are poor. People don't have anything in their pocket. But even though it's time we sit down with our women, help them get these capacity buildings and help them know what does it mean. Because decisions, if they are made when a woman is in the position, they're made better. And we will live better than what we will be at the given stage that we are in. That's what I can say. Thank you.
That is so wonderful. Thank you so much, Her Excellency. I'm just gonna, I hate to put you on the spot because there's so much we're gonna learn from you, but I'm gonna pass this on to another powerful leader here, right here from South Africa, Athi Moore. Please come on the screen before we bring back Our Excellency again. And please talk to us, Athi. You know, every time, something that we hear all the time is about the glass ceiling. And so many women are limited by the glass ceiling. It's like, oh my goodness, I couldn't go farther. No one is supporting me. How can women feel that inner strength to move forward? Over to you, Athi.
Thank you, my gorgeous soul. I'd like to start off with something very simple that Eleanor Roosevelt very succinctly said. She said that no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Now that was burnt into my mind and it has burnt into my soul. And it has made me question everything I've ever heard, everything I've ever been taught, everything that has been ingrained or indoctrinated through prejudices and through programming, through social environments, through our upbringing, through our communities, through our culture, our religions, and our traditions. When we listen to people say that this is a patriarchal society, my question is that the women that walk amongst us are absolutely powerful and stunning human beings. At what point did we downgrade ourselves by embracing the words of men before us who are no longer relevant in many ways? There are stunning, incredible men out there, but when we take a step back, we need to question ourselves, when did we stop allowing ourselves to shine? And as we motivate and we influence people and we seek to be of service to others, we forget that we have to step up and strengthen our thinking and all the things that were ingrained in our belief systems and unlearn it. And while we blame other women for not empowering us, only we can take responsibility for why we did not step up for ourselves. In an age and an era right now where there are stunning, incredible women sitting on this call right now who are doing incredible work everywhere, selflessly sacrificing a lot of who they are and what they have done to become what you see here right now. The titles don't define them. It's the strength of the humanity that does. And so when we speak about a glass ceiling, we bought into a concept that was taught to us by the stupidity of somebody out there. And we used those words to become ingrained in our very spirit, and then we allowed it to then temper our behavior, our words, and our actions. And when I say very simply, you look at a glass ceiling, this is the stupidity of it. Glass is see-through and it's transparent and it can be broken. In the same way, it is our very mindsets, our beliefs, and how we think into ourselves, our self-talk, our self-belief, our own behaviors that will define what we can have, will have, and demand to have. And so when you look at this whole situation of women in politics, I will ask, what do we need to break down in terms of prejudices, in terms of the behaviors of people around us? Because this is the brilliance of human behavior. It can be changed, it can be adjusted if we know how. And so when we do motivational talks to people and we say, you've got power in you, you've got to be hungry for this, as Les Brown will say. And we say that influence is everything, but it's nothing if you don't believe in yourself. So what are we seeking? What do we want? What are we being intentional about? Why do we want to be in parliament? First, seek to understand your why. And then you will move mountains because your intention will bring around you the most powerful people that you attract who've got your back, who will support you. Maybe the people around you that you have right now have not supported you in the way that you needed to. Who do you need to let go of? You see, the glass ceiling are the things that we hold ourselves back with. Those are our misunderstandings. That is our miscommunication. Those are our misguided beliefs that we allowed to cement itself in us. And where our heart bleeds for our people, and it bleeds for the communities, and it bleeds for the injustices in this world, we don't even realize that we've always had choice, and that we must step up and stand up for the people who've got no voice. When you look at the ladies who are here, who successfully navigated into politics, they're not saying that it was easy. What they're saying is it's doable. Now, what you do with that influence and that position speaks volumes about your character and your dignity as a being. And as a compassionate leader of influence, you will need to realign your thinking, remove the indoctrination, and embrace men and women on this journey, whether they care for you or not. You are going to have to step up so many levels above people that you are resonating at such a high level that people will be coming towards you, and they'll be the right people, and the wrong people will be repelled and move away from you willingly. So you don't have to drag a whole lot of people that become like emotional baggage. And another area you need to look into is don't buy into the words of other people and their beliefs, because what they believe is just a reflection of themselves. You don't have to take that into you. Write it off as entertainment. The day you get to that point where you have fun and you have understanding that everything is serious and it's not in the same breath, you understand that there's balance in life and that you can have freedom. You can celebrate without feeling embarrassed. And as you are asked to introduce who you are, be true in your introduction. Never dumb yourself down for anybody, because your power and your ability to touch somebody's life, that is influence in those few seconds. That is influence right there. You don't have to be standing on a podium and speaking to thousands of people. All you got to do is open your mouth, and the kindness and thoughtfulness that flows through your words will impact the very people listening to you. And therein lies your power and your ability to work your purpose, to live your vision on this earth. So when you are in politics and you stand there and you see the women are put in positions, but they're not given their voice, you step up and you say to the woman, what is stopping you? What is stopping you from using your voice in the most meaningful way? Let me help you, guide you, support you. Let me bring the men around you who've got experience and allow them to embrace your journey alongside of you. Because when you reject other people, you are rejecting not just a human being, you're rejecting their wisdom, you're rejecting their experience, you're rejecting their thoughts, you're rejecting their strategies that could help you. So what limiting belief do you have to remove? You see that glass ceiling effect. It's not limited to just women, it's men as well. Everybody's suffering. We are not walking this journey just as women only, but we are killing the injustices that were brought upon us, majority of it by men. who did not understand their self-worth. So you're not just fighting that, you're fighting the self-worth of people who did not know any better. Step up in your self-worth and you will change the conversation because you are worth it. It's as simple as that.
Thank you. Athi, that wasn't simple. That was powerful. And that is Athi all the way from South Africa. Thank you so much, my sister, for delivering it so brilliantly. I love it. I felt it in the heart. And I'm just going to pass it quickly to Karima. Let's see what's happening in Morocco, Karima. I know that you're right in the front line as a politician, and right now you're working on elections. What are some of the things that are happening? Is it the same thing that's going on in Morocco, or is it different over there? And talk to us, Karima. What are some of the challenges that you see on ground right now?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Well, as you know, this year is very, very specific. There's some background noise. This year is very specific for us in Morocco. First of all, because we are in the middle of election campaign during a critical time. They're facing the pandemic. I think there's too much background noise. Do you hear me very well?
Is that from you, the background noise?
No.
Okay. If you do have your microphone on, please can you turn it up and honor Her Excellency who's been here. We want to be well behaved again. So do us a favor to mute your microphone. Okay. Yes, we're still having trouble.
Yeah.
So let's see what's happening here.
Okay. I think now it's fine. All right.
Perfect.
As you see, this year is very particular because we're in the middle of pandemic. I think we're facing the third, fourth wave. The number of cases is very high, so it makes it even very difficult for men and women to campaign. This year we have 3 elections going on at the same time: professional elections, regional elections, and parliamentary elections, which is quite interesting, actually. Of course, there is a tendency to push more for women and youth in these elections to encourage more participation. But let me tell you the main and traditional obstacles. I mean, regardless of all the efforts that we have been doing to promote equality and also women political participation, there are still many obstacles on the ground. The main obstacle, I think this is something cross-cutting with all African countries, but not only Africa. I mean, all across the world is the cultural barriers. So we're facing a lot of cultural barriers, especially in small villages, who are preventing women to be upfront and to run for office. The second barrier, which I think today there are a lot of organizations with public institutions or private institutions that are trying to do a lot of political empowerment and work a lot on emotional intelligence for women. As one of the ladies stated very clearly, women need to believe in themselves. So emotional intelligence is very important because there are a lot of women who have talent, and sometimes they just discover it when they work in an environment where they promote more networking and they see role models of women like them who started out from zero, and they have become very efficient politicians. So I think now there is a tendency towards showing more these role models to encourage more women to participate in politics. The third I think obstacle, which was actually handled in a way through the implementation of different legislation and policies, like gender-related policies, gender-sensitive budgeting, quotas for women in parliament and also in local elections. In the case of Morocco, I think since 2015, we are very much advanced in gender sensitive budgeting, in the sense that there is a budget all across the different policies at the institutional level to promote gender equality all across the sectors, including politics. Yet, I think, regardless of the quota system that have been applied, either for elections or for within the structures of political parties, the problem lies in the organizational culture of gender within the structures of these political parties. Now we are actually advocating more so that gender equality will be as a normal organizational culture of political parties, and not that the fact that they're doing it because they have to do it by the law. It means that this is impacting also the politicians who are actually working to nominate candidates for elections. It means that there are some, some men per se, between quotes, that do not believe that some women will succeed in elections in, for example, in this region. So just by these type of perceptions, they don't nominate women because they don't believe that they have the capacity to do so. And of course, there are many women also, apart from their capacity to do so, they're not very much supported in terms of financing their election campaigns. And sometimes they nominate them in a certain region where they know that it's very hard for these women to win these elections. So these are some of the main obstacles that we face in the political parties. And also more specifically, I think one of you talked about the influence, and also about whether women have really the power or not. Let me say here that the quota system was very efficient at a certain time. Now I think there is a hot debate between different political parties and also women advocates that we should go beyond the quota system, because it actually contributed to increasing the political participation of women within the parliament, within the regional and local councils in terms of number. But in terms of quality of the participation, we're still not yet there. So we wanted that this participation within the parliament and the regional council to impact the daily lives of women, in the sense that these women are working to change the policies and also advocating for the change of the daily lives of women. So basically, we want that these women not to be just titles, minister, MP, etc. We want them to give them the delegation of power, so that they can work efficiently, and not, let's say, let me outline it here clearly. We nominate a person for a minister, for example, or a vice president of a council. Even by the law, she has the power, but because of the male dominance mentality, when they take a decision, they go, for example, to a coffee shop late at night. They work together. The next day they come with a ready-made decision. So the woman doesn't have, she has a title, she has the power, but she doesn't have the decision. But now we want women to have real decision, on the ground. So this is something that we want. And the last point that I wanted to emphasize is that in all those programs that we are running to promote women in politics, we need a more he for she to be included in a whole process, because that would help support women to take more decisions, and to be nominated more in senior level positions. So we need men to be part of the process. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karima. We need more men to be part of the process. So we really cannot run away from men. That's what I've been hearing. We have to learn how to coexist with men. But men is not about you today, so it's about women. But it's great to have you in our midst. Thank you so much. It's the African Women's Day. If you're just joining the conversation, welcome. Thank you. And where have you been? We started for such a long time now, but welcome. You can have access to the video. And I want to let you know that Her Excellency, the ambassador, the African Union ambassador is right here. So bring on your question if you've ever been thinking about what does the African Union do anyways? I just heard something great today. There is funding for women. Woohoo! I'm excited. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait for this session to be over. So I'm going to bring up my sister, Coach ID from Nigeria. But Coach ID, are you ready to come on? Yes, through introduction, you talked to us about your program, Like Fine Wine, and working with women over 40. I wish I'd seen you a long time ago because sometimes it can get really overwhelming. But, and some of the conversations we're having tonight, we are dealing with women struggling with self-worth, self-esteem, confidence, just having a balance in their wellness. Coach ID, do you see that as a problem, and how can we fix that? Over to you, Coach ID. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Louisa, and all the wonderful women that are here. My program, Like Fine Wine, is for women of 40 years and above. And I've always, people have been asking me, why 40? I just feel that at the age of 40 is just a turning point in your life. Probably most women at that age must have been done with childbearing. That's when all the menopause and everything is creeping in. I think it's a time that you have to find yourself. It's a time that you have come to know more about yourself after spending 40 years. To me, 40 years is the time of becoming. So the program, it came from what I saw while I was growing up. As a child, I used to be very curious. There's something I used to see when I was a child. My aunties, okay, they were all beautiful. Young ladies, went to school, university. But then I noticed that when they got married, let's say Auntie Rita is a beautiful young woman with a vision, with a dream. She's beautiful. She has everything laid out for her. Then Auntie Rita meets Uncle Richard, okay? And they get married. And she has a child. And the next thing, she has another child. And maybe after 3 children, I see her begin to lose herself in the role, in what I call the role. So she's no longer this woman with a dream. She's now a woman that is a mother and a wife and something else. So she loses herself into this role of being a mother and a wife. She loses her self-esteem, self-worth. She sort of retires into the shadow of the man. And that's what I usually used to see while I was growing up, to a point that I thought maybe marriage is just about getting married, having children, and just managing your life. You know, maybe having this, no longer having this dream of this career, building up yourself, but taking a convenient job that will allow you to be able to drop your children off in school and pick them back. So I saw women just disappear. I mean, they're there, they're present, but they've lost themselves. So that was one of the worries I had as a child while growing up. And I asked myself, why is this happening? And that's why I brought together Like Fine Wine program to tell women that there is more. There's more to being a wife and a mother. That is where you have your potentials. That's where you have your purpose. That's where you have your goal. As a woman, you can still have a goal. I am so proud of all the women here that like my sister Sia, she said, I mean, we have to be there. You cannot, if you are not on the table, you become the menu. I see Honorable Chicas, and I'm so happy that a young woman at that time is saying, there is more to me. There's more to me than being a wife and just a mother. So if we have to take up and have a seat on the table, we have to know that there is more. A woman, to me, is a strong woman. If you talk about politics being a dirty game, we've been changing dirty diapers. Who knows more about the dirty game than us? So I think one of the things that we should do is to stop thinking of ourselves as a woman and think of herself as a person. Because when we keep saying, oh, a woman, I'm a woman, that's why I'm a woman, that's why. The problem that is, if we look at it, the problem that the women are facing in politics, okay, yes, they can be a bit more than what the men are facing, but even the men are also facing the same problem. Are we talking about discrimination? Some men are being discriminated. Some are being discriminated because of their religion, because of who they are, because of where they come from, because of their heritage. So it's time for us to stop just looking at ourselves as a woman, because I think the whole woman thing is making us, go back to this second-class citizen. See yourself as a person. I'm a person. This is a challenge that I have. I love the women in the Bible. One of the women I love is Esther. I don't know if so many of us have read the story of Esther. Esther was a woman that also came into that role. All she wanted to do was to be a queen and just appear at the man's court at that time. But you see, that's not what God set her in that position for. Because I believe wherever you sit, you don't have to be in politics to have a voice. Wherever you sit at this time should be somewhere that you can make a change. Yes, it can be politics, but there are some women that are making so much mark. Ngozi Iweala, for example, that they will send for you to come and be in the politics. So sometimes you don't have to even be, you don't have to be the one campaigning. Sometimes somebody can call you because of the impact you are making where you are to come and have a seat at the table. I love what Her Excellency Ambassador Hilda said. She said, it's what comes out of my brain that matters. And that's another thing that the women face. When they give you a seat at the table and they pass you the microphone, do you have a message? Do you have something to say? Because we can be struggling to sit at the table, but we don't have enough in our brain. There is nothing there's nothing as powerful as a woman with a brain. I mean, you have the look. Our looks will give us a place at the table. If you go to somewhere and there's something God has blessed us with, His presence. If you go to anywhere and you are a woman, the men will literally stand up for you to sit down. But when they give you the seat at the table, what are you saying? Because when you open your mouth, they don't expect us to be intelligent. And so they are blown when we are intelligent. A woman commands more respect when she speaks up and she's heard because she has something to say. So what I see in politics as the gap now that I see is not really because we don't have a seat. It's because maybe we don't have what we say. Maybe we don't have that voice. Because a woman is the powerhouse. Think of the times that you've made a statement in your house and everything changed. We have always been in control. Dr. Louisa, you said something about influence. Women are influencers. We made the men. We gave back to them. Do you know how many women are running the country because they are wives of the president? Do you know the decisions that these men take because their wives are telling them something? I mean, that we have the voice. Sometimes you don't have to even be on the table. We have the voice. But let's just begin to close that gap with our brain. What are we saying when they give us a seat at the table? When we have a voice, when we are given that opportunity to sit, let's be prepared to say something meaningful. And that's why I love what Afi, my sister Afi said. He said, why? What's the reason for you being there? Your why is the anchor in the storm. Yes, it's going to be tough, but when you know why you are there, Esther, I go back to her. Mordecai told her, he said, if you are silent and you don't speak up, help is going to come to us from somewhere else, but you and your family will perish. And that's when she stood up, because she realized that if she doesn't stood up and take a place at the table, she's going to be the menu. And so why? Why are you there? Because your why is the anchor in your storm. Your why is the reason that you get up in the morning. Your why is the reason that one of my sisters here is in the hospital right now, but she is with us because she has a why. So it's time for us to begin to sharpen our brains, knowing that it's a dirty job. And just like we are prepared to, change that diaper even when it stings, we can do this because we've been doing it from inception. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Coach Heidi. Oh my goodness. I kind of had a moment where you just want to take an offering and drop somewhere, but then there was nowhere to drop an offering. But thank you so much, Coach Heidi. That was so powerful and heartfelt. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. And I'm back here again with Her Excellency, because I know it is very early where she is, and I have to honor her time and get as much from, we're here gleaning for knowledge. I don't know how you feel. I just kind of feel like, the woman at the table just dragging her outfit. I'm like, tell us something, share with us. How can we do it? How can we have more women in the front line? And some of the conversations we've had today, talking about how women should understand their why, their purpose. Why do you think that you need to get to the table? Why do you have to get to the table? What can you do where you are right now? What are you using your voice for God's sake? What are you using your voice for? And I dare to say that we are all seated on a table. It's just what kind of table are you sitting on? Some of us are sitting on a table in our rooms, playing with your children. But are you making your voice heard? It doesn't matter what table. You might be sitting on a table in your community. Are you getting your voice heard? So I want every one of us to just kind of begin to think, what can you do where you find it? So we have so many countries that are represented here. I just saw Gambia is in the room, Benin is in the room, Tunisia is in the room, South Africa, all of these great people, Kenya is in the room. What are you doing where you are? And if you're not yet a voice, are you an echo? So many people around you are doing amazing work. Are you supporting them, or you're looking at them with a side eye and say, no, this is not for me. This lady again, she's a noisemaker. Listen, if we are not on the table, we cannot create a life or a world that is inclusive of women. So I'm going to get our Her Excellency to talk to us again about women being impact driven with whatever that they're doing. Because sometimes I hear some interesting things, when we put out the post, I had some men come into my inbox and they said to me, Dr. Louisa, but sometimes I think women come out for the wrong reasons. I said, okay, yeah, you said the right thing, but that's not too smart, but thank you for your comment. Another person said to me, oh, Dr. Louisa, but I think that women, do not know how to sell themselves properly in terms of networking, professional networking. And he talked about how women can seem flirtatious, we're already beautiful. I mean, if you turn your body, people are gonna say you want them to look at you, but what can you do? How can you do this gracefully without getting in the way? So Her Excellency, my question for you would be, why is it so important for women to build a course? I mean, even if you're coming out to run for office, you're coming out to the front line, why is it so important to do something and be socially responsible to impact people's lives? Be ready to create change where you find yourself. Over to you, Her Excellency. Oh, I'm sorry, I think you're muted. Just 1 second. I apologize, 1 second. I apologize. Can you hear me now? Oh, no, not yet. 1 second, please. I didn't know. Okay. Can we unmute now? I'm just trying to unmute you, Her Excellency.
Am I okay now?
Yes, I can hear you. I apologize. You see, Zoom is so disrespectful. They muted you. So please go for it.
Yes. I would want to take this opportunity and thank the women who have come before us. These women have taught us you have to come up and be counted. I know before women thought their role was there at home, take care of the children, take care of the family and all that. And with time, women woke up and they said to themselves, no, I want to come up and be counted. And what we're talking about today here is, as you come up to be counted, what gives you, if I got your question well, what is that makes you to be a person who comes to the fore? What is the importance of that? to build a better world. At the end of the day, women have to be into it. How do we drive the gender agenda without the other percentage of the people in the country? The talk is about we are 52%, if not more, of the population, and you leave that population behind, and you say the country is going to develop, is going to go further. That will not happen. And what does that mean? Women, we have to learn to participate. We have to participate. When I had a discussion with Dr. Akaiso earlier, I told you there's need to nurture our little girls from an early stage, for them to know they are worthy. They have to be there. They have to be there at the fore, and they have to make a difference. The world is ours. We are the ones who are churning out the children. We are building the population. And at the end of the day, and you say we can't do things, we are really, positioned to change things. All we need to do as women is to teach ourselves to switching gears and we are multitasking in all things that we do. That's why these homes are running and things are going on well. And in the countries, a lot is happening, in terms of the economic development, where women are playing a very big role, that to have those, countries have this development by doing cross-border and all that. I'm saying we have to learn to switch gears. Yes, we can be able to do that and go stay elsewhere. And while we're doing business that will bring back home to make a difference, to educate the children, to run the home. Let's switch gears. We are doing that. We can be able to run a business, a successful big business. We can be able to go into parliament and be counted. And when I was into that kind of a situation, I'm a mother of 4 children, but I learned who this girl was. I said, no, I know this girl. If I can do 1, 2, 3, why can't I get to where I want to? Even without any resources to go for it. But I said, my voice will be the strongest. I will be there to get it where it has to get to. And I carried the power of, yes, I can. That's the power I carried. And with that, you develop that confidence to get into a situation. And then, of course, there will be a lot that is said so that to do down your spirit, to say you can't, you think you are here, then you can. And they tell yourselves, yes, I can. And they move and let the women, we should know, we have to participate, we have to go into where things are happening. Even if we have children, we can have a little sister, if not a little sister, an aunt and uncle to leave the children with, and then get the children taken care of while we run to go and participate on what is happening. At the moment, let me take this opportunity and say, men are running for their money right now. They know we have come massively, and we are coming. And I foresee the world being led by women. I want to live long enough to see that. Women are go-getters. We have the strength of multitasking. And ask yourselves when you get there, how come I'm here? It means you are worthy. A lot has been said of worthiness. Tell yourselves I'm worthy. It's the reason I am where I am right now, where I'll be counted, where I'll make a difference in my country. I know it's so harsh on the ground. I've gone through it, that harshness. But I stood in there and I said, this is also my space. It's my space. I'm here. I've been gotten there. Okay, let me put it that, like the Lord has gotten me there. What does that mean? I have a purpose to make a difference where I am, and want this difference from women. Today we have Ngozi that we spoke about. We are celebrating. And what is it? She said one day in her interview, just be yourself, but know what you want at the end of the day. So that's what I can respond for the time being. And we can go on with other questions. That's all right. I'll keep talking.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Her Excellency. It's such an honor to have you here as we continue the conversation. And we cannot talk about inclusion if we do not bring my sister Moradeke Badru, who is working very closely with women in the IDP camps. And, Moradeke, welcome. It's good to have you as part of the panelists. And I would like you to share with us from the grassroots level, what are some of the concerns on that level where women are not able to come to the top? Over to you, Moradeke.
Yes, thank you very much, my sister, and thank you for inviting me to this platform. It's a very great learning platform for me. I've been blessed by, the discussion and the conversation we've had so far. It's a pleasure to be here and to bring my perspective from the community, from the grassroots, especially working with women in conflict situation, the internally displaced women from the northeastern Nigeria. I work with them, and also have the opportunity to, lead advocacy on the domestication of Kampala Convention in Nigeria, with the women and also my colleagues in the healthcare sector, in Nigeria, working as frontline actors, with the IDP there. So, and for me, it is very important, this conversation, I have some of my colleagues on this platform, and I know that this is a great eye-opener to, the strength we can pull together when we put our energies into the just cause that we believe in for emancipation of women and getting women voices on the table. For me, it is very important to say that the reasons why most conflicts in Africa, linger so long is because women's voices are not even on the table when it comes to peace resolutions and conflict resolution generally. It's because they are not engaged. The women are not involved. And when you look at who suffer the most in this conflict situation, it is the women and the children. Most women in the ID camp have suddenly found themselves as the leader of the household, as breadwinner, because maybe the father have been shot dead by the insurgents, or maybe the senior, male members of the household have run away. So she's left, she's vulnerable, and she's there. And our voice is not on the table. So it is important that we bring this conversation to bear, and it's coming at an appropriate time to showcase that without the women's voice on the peace resolution table, it is difficult to broker peace in the first place. And for me, this is important. This is a message I'm taking back to my colleagues in the communities, taking back to the women, that we need to speak up. We need to amplify our voices. The domestication, Kampala Convention have been there now for almost 15 years or more. And Nigeria has been a signatory of this convention that talks about, the need for sovereign nations to take care of internally displaced persons and, treats them as the true citizens of those countries, the way exactly every other country should have the same benefit as the IDPs. But Nigeria is yet to domesticate this Kampala Convention, which means that women in the IDP camps are still vulnerable, their rights are not met, and it is important that we bring this message of solidarity, this message of strength, this message of emotional intelligence to these women at the grassroots. So it is important that we add the voice of every woman, regardless of the situation they are and where they are, at the moment. And for me, this is, a very important day, the Day of the African Women, the day that will bring hope, to our minds for, the several issues that women are facing generally in this continent. So I appreciate you for bringing me on this table, and we will continue to echo and re-echo what we have had here. We will continue to amplify our voices at the front line. We will continue to bring this message to the women that without them, the government, that with them, that is when the situation can change for the better. That is when we can move forward. That is when there can be progress and peace in our country, in our communities. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, my sister Moradeke, and thank you for the work that you're doing with the women at the grassroots level. That is so important. Thank you. Thank you, and thank you again. We're running this to the end of the event very soon. In another 8 minutes, we should be out of here. We try to stay on time. So the conversation is about how can we close the gap for women's political participation? If you're just joining us for the first time, it's the African Women's Day. And how are you celebrating our past heroes? What have you done? Have you been able to put somebody up? There have been amazing women who have gone before us, and we have been carrying on this conversation with powerhouses from all around the globe. Where are you? Are you part of what we're doing? Invite others to listen to this conversation. It's already recorded, and we would have it on social media so that you can have access to it. And I also want to let you know that this is going to be continuous. It's not a one-off. Now we're ready to knock on the doors. I think I got that from Dr. Remy. We're knocking on the doors and we're pulling everybody out. And we'll say, we're going to the front line. You have all that it takes to go to the front line. It's not going to be easy. Her Excellency has explained to us, it's not going to be easy, but you must understand your why. Why do I need my voice to be at the front line? Why do I need my voice to be at the table? What am I bringing with me? So if ever you thought that politics was a nice to have, that's not what we're doing. We are all about creating change. So get busy. Wherever you find yourself, you're sitting on a table. Don't wait for the decision-making table. Are you sitting on the table at home? Is your voice being heard? Are you sitting on the table in your community? Is your voice being heard? Are you sitting on the table in your church? Is your voice being heard? And the people around you, do they even know who you are and what you do? Look for a cause. Find your purpose. Connect to why you were created. You were given a voice for a reason, and that's why you can speak so powerfully. We have learned that women are influencers. Come on now, you've been influencing from when you were a baby. So what are you doing? Nobody has to validate you. Don't wait for validation from people who are not even validated themselves. If you're seeing a glass ceiling, break it down. We're ready to move forward. We are not going to take no for an answer. We've begun the conversation and we are ready to go. Her Excellency is here. She's happy to work with us. But she must know that you are about positive change. And that's the conversation we're having today. That's what we're encouraging you to do, that politics is not a nice to have. You are not going to show up on the front line just because you think that people should see you. Yes, everyone here is beautiful, but what are you bringing to the table? When you're given a seat, what are you saying? Because let me tell you, these men are watching, they're right here in the room, and just like, oh, it's the African Women's Day. What are they saying? But can we go out to make a difference? Right after now, can we be able to hold each other's hands, be able to collaborate? Can you be able to support one another? When you're not a voice yet, you can be an echo, first of all, before you become a voice. We have so many ladies here who are doing amazing work. Can you reach out and support them and work with them on the project that they have? That's the only way that we can make a difference. It's not going to be magical. We have to get back to work. We have to put our hands to work, be ready, have a reason, understand our cause, our why, and stand by it and be proud of it and know that we are enough. We do not need somebody else to empower us, to push us. Listen, this is not a motivational speech. I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to push you out. Because I'm sick and tired of us going around in circles for so many years and people thinking that we're jokers. Meanwhile, we have so many brilliant women all over the world with great potentials. It's time for us to make a difference. Are you sitting on the internet, on social media? What are you using your page for? Are you on WhatsApp? What are you using it for? Wherever that you find yourself, do not wait until you get to the big table, but the table where you are is enough for you to make a difference. And I'm going to bring the last panelist right now, Mamouna. She's coming in from Senegal. Mamouna Yade, please come in and just share with us your thoughts about today. Mamouna Yade. I hope that she can hear me. I'm going to try to unmute Mahmuda. She's French speaking, and she's about to come on the screen. Mahmuda, it would be great to have you here to share with us. We heard from her before. And you know what? This conversation is going to continue. If you want more information, please visit the website. It's www.womenwhowinafrica.org, and go in and fill in your information there. There's so much work to be done. Her Excellency is happy to work with women. So just go in there and fill out your information. And of course, we have Honorable Favor, who is a member of the House of Assembly for Ondo State. Honorable Favor, are you ready to go? I have been trying to unmute you for a while now.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, great Amazon, our leaders, our great substance. It's my pleasure to be part of this beautiful event and a thought-provoking one, honestly. I've listened at length for all the contribution, and wow, definitely we got all it takes to move on the world. So thanks for having me. I'm Honorable Favor Tomomewo. My son name is so difficult for my doctor. So I'm a member of those States of Assembly. Member of those States of Assembly, but unfortunately, the only woman among the amidst 25 men. So unfortunate that amidst 25 men, we can have only one woman there. So that's not encouraging at all. So I want to appreciate Her Excellency and every other colleague that spoke before now. The reason why I have to appreciate them is the fact that they were able to place us and dig our mind on what is actually expected of us. Yes. So let me speak on the angle that where are we missing it from? We are talking about women in politics and women leaders. You know, where are we missing it? You know, we got the right education, the right knowledge, experiences, but at the same time, what is missing? What is missing out from us? That we're not. What are we doing? What is it that we're not getting right that we need to learn so far? So let me mention the rules of the game. The rules of the game when I'm talking of the formula of application, proper application of the rules in politics. You see, politics is just like every other profession in which you need all what it takes. You need to acquire the right knowledge, the right experience, political experience, so that you can excel. And from there, you can get your mark right. Now, I want to speak on the angle of the grassroots politics. You know, one way or the other, we all from one locality. Even you being a British, you being or a Nigerian, African, you know, we all came from a place, from a macro place. And politics is one of the professions that will take you back to your roots. You know, there's no how you want to excel in politics, you want to go far, that you must first of all go and start from your root, from your origin. So when I'm talking of the formula, is the part of the formula is for you to go down and be part of those common people that you want to govern. You must go back home, wherever you know you hear from. You will ensure that you are part of those people. You identify their affect needs, you know, and you can, even when you cannot speak their language, you must ensure that they can understand your own language. They can interpret your voices. So definitely there's need for you to be part of your people right from grassroots. So by so doing, you know, people will accept you. They will accept that you are part of them, and they'll be willing to work along with you. Why they will choose you as their leader. So secondly, let's talk about the need for us to manage our emotion and our temperaments. Yes. Politics is a profession whereby you cannot you cannot exhibit your pains as much. If not, Believe me, honestly, your opponents, you know, they will grab it as your weaknesses and they will use it against you. So that's why we must be wise enough for us to see that no matter how painful how hot we are, you know, due to the way the men on the table, they maltreated us or they shattered on us, we must still manage our emotion. That is why one of the speakers said we need emotional intelligence. So at times you'll be hot, but still you have to pretend and go and ensure that you are carried along. I mean, you still go along with them. If not, they will ensure that, okay, they pitch you where it's painful. Why through your annoyance or any, so you can just be tired or you want to drop from that table. So that will not be a good idea at all or a good formula. Then one of those things is that there's need for us to be acting well in every area we are. It is called acting well your own parts. Because people you want to lead, they will ask you, what have you been doing? They want to know your history. They want to know what you have been doing. They want to know your antecedents. You know, they want to dig. They want to know your strength. They want to know the content. They want to know what you are bringing into the table. You know, they want to see if really you have the capacity, if really you have the strength to lead them right or to change the poor narratives. So because people will not choose you to go and lead them and still seeing the same poor situation of the policy or poor situation of the country or the states. So when women are going into politics, you must ensure that you have your content, the quality content that you want to offer to the people. And you must see that you are changing for better, not getting there and be changed and be diverting what what you have been the responsibility you have been given to another thing. So I don't want to bore us with much speech here tonight. I think this will be a continuous event. So by so doing, that we can talk more about grassroots politics. We can talk more about the strength of women and what women are expected of. So at this moment, thank you for having me once again.
Thank you so much, Honorable Favor. Thank you. And this is a continuous conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for making out time, of course, to be here. And I still have my sister, Francesca. I've been trying to unmute her, but I know that she has, for a minute, a word for us right.
I'm unmuted. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Louisa. Thank you to all the ladies. I would like to close a little, today by challenging all of us as a politician in South Africa and entering politics as a white woman in a predominantly what is seen as Black political party. Let me tell you something, I can hold my space. And that is what you will need to learn, is to hold your space, because the moment you take any pressure from anyone and internalize it, you will get lost. It has been 61 years since this world has seen the first female head of state. It was Sirimavo Bandaranike from Sri Lanka in 1960. We have progressed on so many levels. We have reached so many milestones. Let us not beat ourselves up. But it's time that we as women step up. It is time that we are heard. It is time when a man says something or towards you or at you, that you hear it and say, I have been called Barbie in politics. I have been in the 2016 election a contention between the then president of this country and some other political parties, because of who you are and your unique position, you are very, very easily become somebody's yardstick or somebody they want to beat someone else up with. I will not allow it. I will tell you one thing. Once you find your voice, and you don't have to shout, you don't have to throw panties and bras, but when you find your voice and when you know where you can stand and where you know what you stand for, makes sense, you don't stand back for anyone. And that is what I want to leave you with. Thank you.
Those were so powerful. I think that's what we needed to hear. And I'm just going to let Her Excellency to close this off with her powerful words for us. Over to you, Her Excellency. I am, just 1 second, we're trying to unmute you. Said Facebook, oh, sorry, Zoom can be very disrespectful, not recognizing Her Excellency. That is so annoying. It's the African Women's Day, and I'm trying to unmute Her Excellency. Perfect. Okay, I think it should work now. Let's see.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm so honored to be among very powerful women who should run with power and tell themselves they're very powerful and carry that confidence and have the conviction that they can do it. The space is ours. World leads, women are going to lead the world. Let's participate. Let's be counted. The doors will open. And let's persist to get what we want. And let's not give up. Yes, there could be quotas, but now let's get to a point whereby we are more than also the men in that parliament that we are yearning to be in. Be there in that space and tell yourselves, the space is mine and I'm rightfully where I'm supposed to be, and run with things and make a difference and pull others to get there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Her Excellency, such powerful words. The space is yours. If you've ever wavered and you're thinking, shake it off. The space is yours. You are the woman for the moment. You're the woman for the job. So what are you going to do with such great words? I don't know about you, but I feel like I can move the mountains right now. And if you're just joining us, we're about to end this conversation. It's the African Women's Day. And did you miss seeing all these beautiful sisters of mine from all over the world, all over Africa? Ladies, I want to say thank you. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I apologize that we didn't get the men to speak, but I'm not anti-men, but you know what, next time. Today, we have to celebrate the women fully, because a lot of times we don't get anyone to celebrate us. Yes. You know, so today is for us. So when you step out of the session, try to make sure that you take care of yourself, because as a VIP that you are, you're very important. And think about everything that we've shared here and take this on. Begin your day tomorrow with thinking of how can you make a difference with your voice, with your platform, with your calling, with your purpose. How can you make a difference wherever that you find yourself? Her Excellency, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was such an honor to have you here. Thank you. And we look forward to all that we're going to do and just change this.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Louisa Akaiso. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience. And so, ladies, we are putting this to an end right now because Her Excellency is gone where we have to go too. So the conversation continues next month, but how can you be part of it? Get on the website. It's www.womenwhowinafrica.org. Fill out the form and you will be notified and brought into the room. We have to continue the conversation. And look at my sister, Maimuna. I called you. I don't know what happened to Maimuna, but you know,
Bonjour.
Yes, what happened to
Lisa,
you?
I'm sorry, it's my connection. The network is failed.
Fix this. We need a woman.
Sorry.
In Senegal. We need a woman to fix this, and we're going to have to do that. So, Maimuna, I'm not going to shut you up. Can you just say something to us for a minute as we're going away?
Ok. Merci beaucoup, Louisa. Alors, moi, je pense que j'ai bien écouté avant que ma connexion ne se perde. J'ai écouté un peu les contributions des unes et des autres, que je trouve vraiment très excellentes, il faut le dire. Alors, moi, je voudrais juste parler un peu de la question je dirais un peu de la rencontre intergénérationnelle entre les femmes qui ont fait de la politique il y a très longtemps, les pionnières, et les jeunes femmes les jeunes femmes donc, qui entrent également dans la politique. Parce que la politique est tellement difficile, la politique est tellement compliquée, que s'il n'y a pas ce partage d'expérience entre celles qui ont été là et qui ont vécu les expériences et d'autres, je pense qu'il y aura beaucoup de défis auxquels nous n'allons pas pouvoir faire face. Donc, je ne vais pas être longue parce que j'ai eu un problème de connexion. Je ne vais pas être longue du tout. Je vais juste remercier tout le monde, remercier l'ensemble des personnes magnifiques qui ont pris la parole aujourd'hui pour célébrer la Journée internationale de la femme africaine. Donc, c'est notre journée à nous. Nous sommes des championnes. Et surtout, il faut comprendre, lancer un fort message à la jeune génération. Les jeunes femmes africaines doivent prendre le pouvoir. Les jeunes femmes africaines doivent aller vers l'excellence. Les jeunes femmes africaines doivent aujourd'hui continuer le travail extraordinaire que les femmes africaines ont fait jusque-là. C'est-à-dire que nous allons faire partie de ces personnes qui vont bâtir le continent. Donc, merci à tout le monde et j'espère tout simplement que nous aurons l'occasion d'échanger plus amplement. Et je vais vous éviter mon anglais funny là. My funny English. Thank you.
Oh no, your English is not funny and you are amazing. I think you're such a powerful woman because you speak 2 different languages. I speak just one. So you see, that's why we need each other. Because if you're looking for French, Mamuna is right here. And I promise you, Mamuna, next time that we meet, I should be able to say something more than bonjour in French. So please pardon me. This time I have just one thing, which is bonjour, but I'm going to add to that. Mamuna is right from Senegal. She's doing amazing work. She's a feminist, she's a politician, she's a powerful woman leader. This lady, you need to read about her and connect with her on social media. She is amazing. And look at Gloria Puldo. It's great to have you in the house. Thank you so much for making up time to be here. So ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you, we can do this over and over and over again, but we're back again next month. Do not forget to visit the website and fill out your information so that we can be in touch with you. We're going to have a lot of programs. Some of the things that women are struggling with is having the right capacity to lead. And that's something that we're going to be dealing with, having programs, workshops, and trainings for women who are interested to get in the front line. And you heard that even with the African Union, we have funding. Ladies, what are you going to do with that? We have to get access to the funds. We might never want to hear that there's money sitting somewhere. So, but let's get to work. What would we use that for? And just before we go, Dr. Remy, can you give me your final words?
Wow, that's one of my final words. Wow, what a powerful platform to just sit in the midst of all those great women. And I see a few men who have started with us and still here. We recognize you, we appreciate you. Without you, we can't be. We understand the power of working together. Dr. Louisa, this is amazing. This is one of those enriching, thought-provoking setup that you have put together today. And to Her Excellency, we thank her for her words of power and encouragement. And all I can say to my sisters and brothers, we rock. Yes. When we come together, yes, with that power of collaboration, that ability to know that yes, we can, and together we can even do it quicker, we will be unstoppable. And I love what Dr. Louisa said. You can run your show in your home. Yes. Leadership is absolutely not about raising your hand for public office. It starts with you. You better know how to run something first before you raise your hand, or you will be a bench warmer wherever you go, because people don't want to send bench warmers to places. They want to see your past performances and how you're going to represent. So Dr. Louisa, we are ready. The charge is on. Let's go, women. We can do this. Men, we need your support. He for she, the best way to go. You have girls who are your children. You want the best for them. And as long as you're a man and you want the best for your children, you will clearly be a he for she. I thank you, my sister. I'm honored to be part of this platform. And let's go get them. And definitely remember to support our campaign here in Maryland. We are about to make history. Remy Duyule for delegate, District 23B. Together we can change the narrative all over the world. Thank you, my sisters and brothers. God bless you.
God bless you too. That was so powerful. And I see my beautiful sister, Kemi Oyesola. I'm not going to let you go without saying a word to us. Yes, please. Come on just for a minute and just say something to us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wasn't expecting that. Well, I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. I think as women, we are, somebody said that if you're a woman with a brain, you are a powerhouse. And that is where the work is. It's not your mind, it's your thought set, not your mindset, because your thoughts determine how your mind is set. If you can think strong, your mind will be set strong and your words will come out strong. You will transform not just yourself, but the environment in which you go into. So I'm so excited for what you're doing, Dr. Louisa. Thank you and well done.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And my sister, so here, you are the last person who is going to speak tonight, all the way from Tunisia. Give it to us in 1 minute. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Louisa. I appreciate this invitation. Really, I'm really glad, and it's an honor to be with you in this platform, representing my country. This is the first time, maybe in English. You know, Tunisia is francophone more than anglophone, but it's an occasion to practice our English with you. I'm really very happy to meet you in this platform. The situation in Tunisia, it's not maybe better than the other countries in Africa. You know, we're still fighting to have this place. We need the power. We need such words that you give to us today. Really, it's very powerful. It's we have to value our experience, to exchange it, to explain our voice, and maybe to explain more this gap between the generations, and this is an occasion really to have this exchange between us. And thank you very much. Really, I appreciate. And maybe in another occasion. Yes. Very nice woman today to meet you, and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So here from Tunisia, I don't know what the time is, but I really do appreciate your being here. You know, it's wonderful. Ladies, we cannot do it alone. We see Peace Sarachi. I don't know where you're joining us from, but I appreciate you. Nenkus Tong, thank you. Buka, thank you. Rhoda Dalong, thank you. Veronica Sapalo, thank you. Abala Sule, Francine, thank you so much for joining us. Dr. Charles Olawale, thank you so much for joining us. Ibrahim Maman, thank you. Fana Ali Chliza, thank you so much for joining us. If I messed up your name, please forgive me. I'm gonna get it right the next time. That's why you need to hang around with me a lot more often so that I can practice and get it right. Okay, ladies, I think we've come to the end of it, but yes, my sister Seer, I love you, thank you for making out time to be here. Thank you for all the work that you do. And please, if you're in the DMV area, make sure that you support this amazing powerhouses. You heard Dr. Remy. Listen, I'm gonna be out there. I don't know about you, but you need to step out and support them for the work that they're doing. If not, they're gonna go back in. So we've learned so much today. I feel so pumped. The conversation continues. We're gonna have a safe space where we begin to have some chitty chatty. It's gonna be audio conversations. My sister Ellen, thank you so much. I know that you have something to say, but you'll keep this time. That's okay. We'll bring you up next time, but thank you. I really appreciate your making out time to hang out with us today. There's so much powerhouses here, and this conversation will continue. Richard Okere, Thank you. I appreciate you. I thought you were going to come on screen, but thank you so much. This is one guy who supports women, and the work that we do is based in Abuja. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. And we look forward to seeing you. Please do not forget to fill out the form on the website, and so that we can send you the link and you can download the app and be part of the conversation as we continue this. It's not going to be a one-off, but we have to knock doors and bring out every other woman who is still struggling with self-worth, with self-esteem, who is still struggling to find their voice. It's going to take you to become the ambassador around you. It's going to take you to take on the message that we've shared on this platform and take it outside. I might not be there with them, but I have you here. So I believe and trust in you that you're going to do it powerfully and gracefully. What a way to spend the African Women's Day. Don't you feel great? Because I do. I don't know about all of you, but it's amazing. I don't feel like going, but I'm going to let you go because it's Saturday. And I know that some people might need to go and cook, and some people might need to play with the kids. But it was amazing spending my Saturday with you. It's such a remarkable day for us today, the African Women's Day. I'm not going to forget this one. And ladies, let's work together so that when we're celebrating next year, which is going to be the 60th year, we would have increased in numbers. We would have come in like a powerhouse that we are. We will show the world that we started this conversation in 2021, and here we are in 2022 with a lot more women. So please do it. I look forward to meeting you. If we're not connected on social media, please do not hesitate to say hello and send me a friend request on social media, wherever that you find. I'm only on the right places. So you're going to see me on LinkedIn. I'm going to be on Facebook, wherever. Just say hello and let's get connected and see how we can work together. So thank you, and thank you again. And looking forward to see you. We're just going to play some music again and finish up, and you can log off whenever you want to. But do not stay away from the game. We're pushing forward. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Bye.
very much. Thank you, Lisa, and
Thank you, Dr. Lisa, for the
thank
invitation.
you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Louisa, and everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing everyone. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, and bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.